have you guys seen this Appian environment, how it looks like and what are the suites we have?
Can you repeat that, Ravi?
Which I'm working right now. Developed using Appian. So
Okay.
the suit side, different objects, all that.
Okay. Okay. So Vijay, do you know about it? I mean, what Appian is, how it looks like?
Yeah, very little, Ravi.
Yeah, very
Okay.
little. Yeah.
All right. All right. So I guess other people have joined. Let me see. Hey Murli, hi. Okay. Fine. Okay, so let me show you first that what are the suits are available and what is the use of each suite. So the first suite that we have in Appian is called Tempo. Okay, so this is the first suite. If you see the browser, right, it says the Appian URL and then suite, and then the first thing is the Tempo. So Tempo is basically for the basic user, the end user who will be using this application, right? Whatever you have built, and it has 5 sub tabs available. So the first tab is the news feed, where you can see if any news has been published related to your application, right? So you will be seeing all those news here. The second sub, guys, can you go on mute if I'm getting an echo? Thanks. Okay, and the second sub option is that task, right? So suppose if there are any task is available for your application, like suppose if you have built some task, right? Like suppose someone has given some uh, assigned some task to you, right? Which needs your approval, then you will get your task listed here under this tab. And the third is that records. So the records, like for your application, if you have built any record, so we'll see what the record is. Then you can see all your record available within this tab. And then the fourth one is the reports. So similar to the records, if you have any report built for your application, you will be seeing all your report under uh, this tab. And the fifth one is an actions. Like suppose if you want to initiate a new action, like suppose for your application, if you want to trigger a new action for your application, for say like suppose you are using the leave management system, right? And you want to apply the leave, right? So you can come to this action tab, and then you can like for example we have LMS apply leave. So if you click on this apply leave, you will be getting an interface for you where you need to go and search for employee and apply the leave. Okay. So this is what we have the first suite available. The 5 subtasks are there. The second suite that we have is that, and how to move to the other suites. Like if you have the designer access, or if you have the system administrator access, then you can navigate from here, and then you can say Appian Designer. So this is the second suite that is useful. I mean, this is basically for the developers, where you go and you actually design your applications. You write your code, you create your all objects and all. Okay, so this is the second suite. Here also we have 5 subtabs. So first is the application. So the application is like, if you create any like for your application, you may need a list of objects to be created, right? Like there will be 100, 200, 300 objects for your application. So you need to collect all those objects into one package, right? So here we create our application packages. So this is a new application. If you click, you can see the package has been created. The second sub tab is that it's like all the available objects in your application. And when I say application tab, right, it's not like in one Appian environment you can only create one application. You can create n number of applications, right? So like see, if you see here, there are 11 applications is already available within this environment. The second subtype is that objects, like here it will list you the entire object available for all of the applications. Like example, we have 11 applications. So what are the objects that are available there? You can search it by name and by this object as here. Third subtype is that usage, where you actually can create an usage, and you can see what are the uses are available within the system. You can see that. The fourth tab is that monitoring. The monitoring tab is used to monitor the running instances. Like suppose whenever you create a process model, right? So how the process model is behaving in the backend, where it has been completed till now, and what's the data we have it, right? If you do anything, if you want to do anything, any monitoring kind of thing in your process model, you can come and you can do it from here. And then last subtab is for deployment. if you need to deploy some object from one application to another environment, then you can come and you can do it here. All right. So this is about the second suite, which is a designer, and this is basically for the developers. All right. Now the third important suite is that we have called cloud database. So this is a cloud database where you actually build your tables. So for your application, if you need any tables, any views, stored procedures, triggers, you come and you can design it here. This is the inbuilt data. This is the inbuilt database for Appian, which is the server, which is the MariaDB. The front end, it will look like your MySQL, but the server is the MariaDB. Okay, but it's not like that. You can only connect with this inbuilt database. You can also connect your Oracle, SQL Server, third party, any of these, right? So you can connect with all those data as well in your Appian. The fourth suite that we have is that is called admin console. So this is for the system administrator users, where you basically set your branding of your application, like which color you want based on your company code, and like if you can also do some file upload restrictions, like what are the type you want, what are the file types you want user to upload on the system. You can do all those kind of restrictions from here. What start page you want to set to the user, you can do all those things from here. Right. Just 1 second. Okay. Okay. So I mean, like if you have any LDAP authorization, so everything you can configure as a system administrator from here. Cool. So this is what we about the system admin console, and then we have one more. Suite available, that is called system logs. The system logs is basically is for to check the log, what has if something has gone wrong in your system, then you can definitely come here and you can check the associated file to see the logs. Okay, and if suppose some object has been deleted, so you can find everything in this system logs here. So these are the four suites that we have in Appian. We mostly need the three, like the tempo, the designer, and then the cloud interface. Any questions? If you have any doubt, if you have, please ask. Guys, no questions? Please be interactive. Okay, ask as number of questions. Don't think like I'll go through the video and then I'll see. If you have any doubt, please ask me now.
The quick question I have, Ravi, is like, so you said the database is usually a Mango database, right? And we can configure to connect or interface with some other database as well. Where can we do that configuration to
So
connect with
that
some other database?
that configuration happens into the administrator console. The system administrator user will be able to give you this connectivity. That if you go to the admin console and then data sources, here you can add your data sources. Okay, the system admin user will give you these the name of the data source, and this username password of that particular data source, it will be read, and then once you provide all this information, it will be see you have like DB2, MariaDB, MySQL, Oracle. Okay, these are SQL Server and all. So once you provide username password, you will be able to go to add the connection, and it will be available within the system. Okay.
Thanks, Ravi.
All right. If no more questions, then we'll proceed. Okay. So this is what Appian looks like. I mean, this is what about the Appian. This is a tempo page where you basically do all your application. So there's one more thing called sites. We'll talk about the sites, but I don't want to jump directly to the site because you must know about the Appian, the first interface that you can interact with the Appian tempo. Okay. All right. So now, as we are thinking of designing an application, right? So I have something in my mind is called like inventory management system. So we can have the uh, we will develop an application around the inventory management system where we can place an order for the inventory. It will go for an approval, and then when it get approved, there will be some status called dispatch, and then everything will cover this basically Appian project. Okay. All right. So the first thing that when we talk about the application, right, designing, so what should be the name of our application that we are going to design, right? So the application name should be what we are giving is called. So we click on the new application. Okay, let's start with the new application. Then so we click on the new application, and then it will say, okay, how you want to create your application, right? If you want to create it from scratch, or if you want to some using some builder, and if you want to create a builder full. So what this is about, if you have all your data model ready, if you have everything is ready for you, like your tables, your views, and then store position, everything, if you have ready with you, if you have the data with you, then you can create from this builder and all, right? But right now we are going to create this application from the scratch, so we don't have any information. So what we will do is that we will create this application from the scratch, and then we will give the name. So the name what we are thinking is that inventory management system. So whenever you give the name, right, this Appian is suggesting you some prefix. This prefix we will be using for all the time. So IMS is a prefix which looks good. So we will using this IMS prefix for our application. I will put some good description of this one. We'll say application for inventory management. Okay, and we are not going to generate this groups and folder for by default. I want you to know how the group and folders can created, and then what is the use of this. So I'm not going to create this groups and folder by default. So I'll just uncheck this checkbox and I'll say create. Okay, so we'll come to this part. We'll talk in the next 10 minutes. What is this warning? Why we are getting this warning detected, and what is the user input? Okay, so this is how we create an application, right? You see this whenever we create an application, it will come. Okay, this is a go back button, by the way. Okay, so you see this application has been created. If you click this application, you will come to this screen, and then you will see, right, there are certain things. We have objects, monitoring, and deployments as the thing we have seen outside of this application. You see objects, monitoring, and deployments, right? So this objects, monitoring, and deployment is for the entire applications. But if you go inside the application, this objects, monitoring, and deployment will be belongs to this particular applications only. So this is the application. When you click on create application, this is the how it will screen will look like. All right, and then you see there are new. When you click on the new tab, then it will give you the entire list of the objects that you need to create your application within Appian. All right, so these are the list of the objects that we have here. Okay, so any doubt to create an application?
Nope.
So, no question why this is red, why our is gray.
I think it is deployed one and one is non-deployed one.
No, it's not related to deployment. It's the red one is the published application. You see, it's a published. When we say published application, like in Appian you can have unpublished application as well. But the published, what is the difference between published application and unpublished application is that if you are going to create any action on your application, right? Like suppose the action that I shown, like apply leave, right? That is nothing but an action. So once you create an action, you need to publish your application so that that action will be available for the end users. Okay, so for that purpose, we need to publish our application. So right now we haven't created anything just a blank application, so we have not published it, but we will publish it in some time. Okay, so that's what the difference between published application and unpublished application. It will come to your question like interview, you can tell them, published application will allow user to trigger an action, unpublished application you cannot trigger any action, that will not be available basically. Okay, so this is what about the application, right? Now every IT department, every project, every application needs to be secured, right? I mean, we cannot let it be open for everyone, right? We need to secure this application. So to secure this provide the security to the application, we have an object called groups. So we are going to secure our application using the groups. Okay, so let's create the application, I mean groups here. So we'll go to the new and we'll say group. So in Appian environment, the minimum group you required is two, are the two groups. One is the administrator and one is the all users. Okay, so first of all we are going to create the administrator user group. So I'll say IMS. See, this is the prefix that Appian provided for you. If you wanted, you can change as well. But it's a IMS, inventory management system, shortcut of inventory management system. So let's IMS. I'll say administrators. Okay, so admin group for IMS application. So this IMS administrators is going to be the restricted group, and then nobody can see what users are available in it. So what we will say, its visibility is restricted. Only members and admins can see this. Okay, so this is the IMS administrator group. I'll say create. Okay, and here also it's saying I mean how you want to save this, I mean secure this group as well. So we'll come to this one later. And then you see this one object has been created called IMS administrators, right? The same way we will create another group that is named as IMS all users. Okay, holds all groups and users for IMS. Okay, now this is going to be our parent group, right? So there is no parent group here. So IMS all users group, and then it will be, I'll say it's not, let it be visibility as a personal. So only admin users can see this one. Public, if you say the public, you can change this one to members can see each other. So in all users, I want to members to see each I mean whoever are available in this. So IMS all users group, I'll say create. Okay, now if talk about the security, so what we will do is that, if you go to the IMS administrator and then I'll say security, I'll say add users and group, I'll say IMS administrator and then IMS all users. So sorry, it will require only IMS administrator and then administrator role. Okay, save changes. So this is secure now. Now for this all users, right, you see all users within a group, you can even add other groups and also the users. So right now we are going to add this group to this one. So we have group to add. So I'll say IMS administrator. So IMS administrator group I'm adding to this IMS all user group. Okay, so now if you go here, you'll see these two groups have been created. And if I ask you which one is the parent group, can you tell me which one is the parent group in these two?
Admin group.
Now, see, administrator is a separate group, right? It's an individual group, but IMS all users has the administrator group within it.
Okay.
Right. So this is our parent group. Okay, application. IMS all users is my parent group. Okay. Now as we have created these two groups, right? We can also now secure our application. So let's go back, select this application, and then go to the security, and then we'll say IMS administrators, and then IMS all users. So administrator will have the administrator access and all user will have the viewer access. We'll save this. So now our environment is also secured, our objects will be also secured when we start creating it. Okay, so this is how we create the groups. We will need, there are two kind of groups in the any application. So one is that which you will require to secure your application. Second is that which you will use for your task assignment purpose, like I want to assign this task to set of managers. So those kinds of groups will also needed into the applications. We'll see that one by one. So any question, any doubt?
For IMS administrator, you went to security and you did add IMS administrator again, right?
Mm-hmm. So I'm just it's security. I mean, we are trying to secure our groups as well. So even if you don't do that, that is fine, because now our application is secure. But it's always to have this. So we haven't this for this happen all users, right? So say here, I'll say IMS administrators. So yeah.
So it means like only IMS administrators would have access to this application.
Yes, only IMS administrator will be allowed, will be able to delete this one basically, and modification and deletion, right? So only IMS administrator users can do it. None other users will be able to do the same thing.
Okay.
Okay. So this is how we just secure our application. We created the application. We created two groups to secure our application. Any other questions? I don't want to do a lot of things today as well, in the same day. So we'll progress step by step. Is that clear?
Yes, Ravi.
Okay, cool. All right. So now once we created our application, we created our group to secure our application. So now we need to create our objects, right, for our application. What are the objects we will need it to our application? All right. So we'll come to that. But in Appian, we create many things, like we create expression rules, we create interfaces, we create constants. If you see this in the new, these all are the objects that we have which will be needed for our application support, right? So these are the objects we have it. So this also needs to be categorized in one thing, right? I mean, we cannot be creating this and then saving it anywhere, right? So to categorize all these objects into one, we create the folders, right? So what we will do, we will create a folder. So we'll say folder. Now we have multiple type of folder. We have rule folder, we have process model folder, we have document folder, and we have knowledge center. We will talk about each one of them. Let's first we talk about the rule folder. So in the rule folder, basically you can set, I mean, you can save your expression rules, you can save your constant, interface, and then expression rules, interface. Yeah, these are things you can save in your rule folder. So what we can do is we can say IMS all rules. Okay, this is a folder I'm going to create which is having all rules. I'll just give hold all the associated rules for IMS application. Right now this is going to the parent folder, so I'm not selecting any parent folder. I'll say create. Okay, now the security. So add users and groups. I'll say IMS administrator, and then IMS all users, and administrator will be have the admin access. So I'll just say. So you see one folder has been created. All right, and right now in this folder we have nothing. Okay, now what we need one more folder. I'll say folder, and the name I'll give IMS interface rule. Okay, hold IMS interface, and now here I can select the parent folder. So I'll say IMS all rules. Okay, I'll say create. So now you see that it didn't ask for me the security. Why it didn't ask for the security? Because it's now parent is the IMS all rules, right? If you go inside this one, now you see IMS interface rule is within it, right? Now What about the security? So if you select this one, let me show you first the IMS All Rules. If you select this one and then go to the security, it will show you the security that we have created. Administrator is admin and viewer is the all users. Right now, if you go to this one, interface rule, and select the security, it also has the same. Why? Because it is inheriting the security from the parent. Okay, so we don't have to set an object security to each and every object. We can also inherit the security from the parent folders. All right, so we have created the interface folder. Now let's go and create one more folder, which will be IMS constants, holds all the constant for IMS application. The parent is IMS All Rules. So done. IMS constant is created, and then one more we need. I'll say IMS expression rules holds all the expression rules for IMS application. And again, it is going to IMS all rules as a parent. That's a create. Now we have created 5 folders, but this is the parent. If you go inside this, you will be seeing all those folders are available here. Okay. So any question, any doubt for this? Creating folders and all? No doubt. Why we have created these folders? This all 4 folders. So this is what, you know, if you remember while creating this application, right? While creating this new application, and there is something, this checkbox, generate groups and folders to secure and organize objects, right? This, if we have let it be this checked, then all these objects would have been created automatically. But I just wanted to let you guys know what is the use and what the purpose. I haven't created that. Okay. So this is how we create the groups, and this is how we create the folders. Okay. No question. All right. Now let's discuss about the IMS application. You know, what are the objects we will be requiring for this application? You know, so 1 second. Let me open the file. Okay, so let's see, decide what are the attributes we will be requiring for, for our data model. So first of all, we will need the first table, that is called IMS inventory table, right? So in that inventory table, we will have something called IDs, the item name, item quantity, the description, item type, item price, and is available or not, and their type, and then the primary key and all everything, right? So this is the one table attribute that we need to have. So, and it's supposed to have some data available for it. So whenever user can go and they can try to search, they can see this, and they can see the available items within the system, and then they can select, and then they can place the order, right? So this is what we need, that item inventory. If you guys think about any more column that we need, please tell me. These are the items table, right? IMS inventory. Okay, so these are the columns that we need. Let's go and create one table in our system for this one. Okay, so we go to our Appian Designer, and then we navigate to the cloud database, and then we'll say new, because we need a new table, and then we give the name as IMS underscore inventory. Okay, so we have ID column, that will be number integer, and then it will be auto increment, and it's a primary key. fine. And then we have item name, that gonna be varchar, let's say 50 characters long. Initially it can be null. All right. And then what else we have? So we have item quantity, item description. So we'll have item description. It's gonna be varchar. I'll say 200 characters long can be. Initially it will be null. And then we have item quantity, let it be number integer, and then let's say we don't give a size. And then how many were left with? 3 more. So we'll say add 3 more columns. Click on go. Then we'll come here and then say item type, item price. So we'll say item price, that is gonna be float. And then item type, it's gonna be varchar. And then we have is available. It's going to be tiny int. So we will be using boolean for this one in Appian. So we are going as a tiny int. All can be null initially. So I'll just put check this checkbox, and we'll say save. Valid length for okay here item type. We'll say 20 characters long. Let's say save. So this table is created now for us. Okay. So if you go here and search for IMS, you see this inventory table is created. So right now there's no data. So the table is empty. We'll put the data within it, and then we'll do the search, and then we'll try to find the available data to our Appian. We'll see how to pull the data from this table, how to display the data, and then how to make selection and all. So we will see in our later part. So any questions till now, if you have, guys, for this application, how we build this application, and how do we secure our application, what are the groups, what are the folders we have created, and the table that we discussed about today.
The database and designer, and designer, these are the two different suite, right?
Yes,
How these
two different suites.
Yeah, how these will get connected? Meaning, if we create
yes, that we will see. I mean, how we will pull the data from database to our Appian designer. We'll see that thing. I mean, because we will require that data to be displayed here, right? So we'll see that part. Okay.
Sure.
All right, guys. So I'm guessing as I have requested by the training organization that couple of more will join from next day onwards. So let's stop here. Meanwhile, have you guys created your Appian credentials? I mean, in your Appian community?
No, Ravi.
No? Okay. And also in the Appian community, you can get your free edition of the development environment where you can go and actually develop your applications, right? So please share your email address or the numbers to the organizer, okay? And ask them to create the WhatsApp group where I can forward you all those details where you need to create your Appian community credentials and how to get your free designer environment where you can go and practice your things if you not have already. Okay. If you are with an organization, so you can use your organization's email address. If not, you can use your personal email address as well for your Appian community this credentials. All right.
Quick question on that, Ravi. Like, if I'm using my personal ID, it will be expired within 15 days or 30 days, right? And I have to extend it again. So I can similar like that. I can extend it n number of times, right?
Yeah, you can extend a number of times. But see, not only the see, community address, it won't expire, but the free demo environment, that will get expired in 15 days. If you are not working in 3 to 4 days itself, the Appian demo environment will be disabled for you. So if you are keep practicing daily basis, it will be enabled for long as much as you want. But if you like suppose not working for 4 to 5 days, it will go disable.
Okay.
Okay. So ask them to. I will ask them to create a group for you guys, and then they will add your name and number to that WhatsApp group, and I will share you the required information on that group. Okay. Also, you will require to share your email address so they can share the recording videos to you. All right.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. Okay, guys. Then thanks for joining today. Let's connect tomorrow, and then we'll start the actual coding. Today we just see the structures, how this container can be created, and how we secure our container, and then we'll see how to start pulling the data from the database and then display onto the interface and everything. Basically, we'll start our actual development. All right.
It's going to be a similar link which we need to connect tomorrow as well, Ravi.
Yes, it's going to be
Same
the same link. Yeah. If
Okay.
there is any changes, they will let you know well in advance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ravi.
Okay, guys.